trying to move everything just around ever so slightly. And we'll see who is going to come online tonight. Let's see if we gather some people. No. Nope, I'll have to turn off my... There we go, we've got the volume off, we've got the chat up. So we'll wait for a few people to gather. I should get my beloved filter coffee. Nothing quite like a dripper coffee to start the proceedings. Now, just waiting to see whether we will gather some people online. What we're going to work on tonight is we're going to finish this one off first of all. This is the one from the painting in the Kiltonga Nature Reserve. Quite pleased with it. I mean, it's always, I think, when you're looking at plein air stuff looks so different to what you would normally do. Hello to the 6 of you that have joined. We're just starting by putting the stampers on the one from the other day in Kiltonga. Once we've got that done, I have my little continuous line drawing from yesterday, which I am going to finish and add some colour to. So hopefully Sunday has been good for you. Whatever time you're in, whether it's maybe it's the early hours of the morning where you are, or maybe it's early in the afternoon. And if you're somewhere in Australia, then what time over there? It's about 7:30. You guys will be just getting up. So we're just getting, this is called Kiltonga. It's not going to put in Kiltonga Nature Reserve. The other thing I could have done was called it the Duck Pond, which is what I know it by. So do share with me what you're up to this evening, whether you're actually, or wherever, or what time of day it is there for you, whether you're painting, whatever you're doing, be great to hear. You know how I love a bit of banter and exchange. I'm just trying to focus to get this spelt right. You can see by the little photograph, if I move it ever so slightly down, let me see, actually what I could do is move this up, which might work even better. There we go. And I'm going to be doing, adding some colour to a little continuous line that I did yesterday. Just a little doodle while I was having my poached eggs and bacon. Went to the local library in Belfast yesterday, and it was, didn't love the inside of the building now, but the wealth of books that they had. And for any of you who have watched any of my stuff, I have been really quite engrossed with Giorgio Morandi and his obsession with still life, and I could yet go back to it. It's very interesting, very, very interesting. Okay, so let's get this coffee ready. And we'll move that off. This is the little line drawing that we're working. Did you like that reveal? Ooh, I wanted to show you a brush that I got as well. This was really, really inexpensive. It's a, I think it's like a painter's edging brush, but actually I have two of them. I have one that I would use for more acrylics or for oil, and I wanted to keep this one separate. I think this was like £3 or £4, but it's just a brilliant size of a brush. This is the wee brush we're going to be using tonight. It's a little one from Saucer and Green. So same kind of principle and shape, but it's not class. So I'm excited to give that a go. I'm looking for a big, well, slightly larger than A1 MDF board that I can stretch A1 watercolor paper onto. Because I've got myself some A1 sheets, which I'm very excited about using. Excuse me while I grab a baby wipe. Okay, so let the games begin. So what we're going to do first of all here is, you know, I could go actually all rogue. Oh, Bonnie's giving off there. I'm going to add some water first. I know this is very uncharacteristically me, but if you look at the photograph, that we're actually using. It has got little splurges of just little splurges of colour there. Let me move it, I'll lift it up to you so you can all see. Can you see the sky? I think it would be the best way to tackle it, with a little bit of wet on wet action, which is completely ridiculous for me because I don't ever really do any wet on wet, but here we go. So using a little cerulean blue, because I love cerulean blue for skies. It's just absolutely brilliant. And then a little bit of, oops, didn't mean to hit the brown there. A little bit of ultramarine. So what we'll do is just drop it in just some areas here. And we're going to let that work its magic in some little pieces. Now, I'm not trying to adhere exactly, but it's going to give that effect, and let's keep the blue actually like a bit more real on that side. Let me get that wire out of the way so it's less annoying. Hopefully you can all see nice and clearly. And this is on my sketchbook on See White of Brighton. Isn't everything? It says you that this man uses. I quite like that line there, so we're going to leave that. Now, I'm going to refer to the image. We're going to take that blue and I'm going to mix in. Just going to play about until I find this colour. I have no idea. This is the Winsor and Newton pad, and it is an absolute joy to behold. One of my absolute favourites, and just going to try and mix a tone that I'm happy with. I think we'll maybe go with this for this building here. So thing is, because this is in, you can hear Bonnie scratching in the background, because this is in sketchbook, then I am so much freer to just work more loosely. Now, what I'm finding is the more that I'm freer in my sketchbook, then the more free I am in the rest of my practice. So let's just play about with this, and I'll probably have quite a nice, I may mix that a little bit stronger. It should have quite a nice illustrated feel to it. Bonnie, now don't be giving off. For those of you with dogs, you know the struggle's real. I love having Bonnie here, but my goodness, that shrieking shrill bark. So this was drawn with the little chisel pen by Unipin. I think I got it in, I think it was one of the little packs that I had ordered from, what do you call them, a scroller box. And was really very pleased with able to get that. Let me show you actually, if he has it. He should have it here. So it's called the CS2 chisel 2.0, so it's nice and chunky. Actually kind of, can you see it there? It gives you actually in some ways like what you would get with a Fude, because you have the flexibility of the nice simple line and then, you know, the nice thicker line. Okay, I'm just sorting out my little V60 dripper. So any questions, or can I, Bonnie, settle yourself down? Any questions or comments? Fire them in. As he takes a swig of his coffee. Okay, so let's move straight on down to these windows down here. So I've got this blue, I don't know, it's like a, I don't know what you would call it. It's a Payne's grey on the max. The Amur, hello, just jumping on. You say thanks for the live. Oh, you're so welcome. Just thought it would come on, just for a wee quick live. Who doesn't love a wee quick live, eh? Now I'm going to be moving quite. Oh. So I actually find that a little too dark, so I'm going to take just a little touch of the ivory black. And it's still nice and dark, so what I want to do is let some of these pull be really strong. I find this little brush really quite accurate, you know, it's nice to work with. And with windows, I love getting a window, you know, really do. You just have to observe even in an abstract way, if you observe what you see, it's always going to really enrich the painting. It just is this little profound principle. Yeah, it is a fun perspective to paint. And it was one of those, Anna, my daughter, and I were out in Belfast yesterday at the library, and I'm really rediscovering the library and the joy of, the books that they have. And so I just saw this and thought, oh, that's interesting. Thought maybe I would get the opportunity to paint it, and here we are. Just making some little marks here, just taking off some of the excess paint so there's less risk of run. I really don't want it to run into that lovely rich colour that's happening over there. Alright, just notice in some of this little bit here, and actually here that wet on wet, half wet on wet, and half wet on dry worked really quite well. Quite pleased with that. Isn't there something just so relaxing about painting? Yeah, just dropping that in there. Okay, now, oh goodness, I've noticed that there are so many more windows on this side. Let me move this over. Maybe you can see it a little bit better without the glare. Is that any better? Yeah, I mean, it's a fun perspective, as you said. Hello, Mark, good evening. It's a fun perspective, and it's also, I was looking at it thinking, oh, the perspective's okay, it's not great. But then I thought, I talk so much about embracing your own hand, and you need to practice what you preach, don't you? And I thought, no, I quite like how playful this is, and that's where I want this one to be, is playful. So just settle myself. Kept going. So just getting these wee windows down here. Good evening to everybody who's just stopped by there. And this one is really dark. Actually, the shadow. We'll carry that on down. Now, Bonnie, stop your giving off. Off she goes. Ever the guard dog, eh? Okay, so just going for the pure ivory black to actually, just going to lift that there on the window that I dropped down because it was just far too bright. Yeah, I'm really really pleased with the kind of illustrated feel that's coming across with this one. Hope you guys are enjoying it, taking shape too. Oh, hello, Colorsmith. Thanks for your feedback on the, I think it was the most recent video there. When you're doing YouTube videos, you sort of assume that maybe people will want to see, but it is still a mystery. So your feedback is actually really, really helpful, because we fire this stuff out into the ether with no idea as to the effect that it's having. So the only reason I know if it's doing okay is because the comments that you make. So very grateful for that. So thanks, everybody. Just going to carry down these windows down this side here. And we'll carry them on. Okay. Now, up at the top here, this colour, this kind of coppery colour, is really getting a good deal stronger, so we're going to try and mix that a little bit stronger. If anybody wants to have a go, I can pop this image up on the community page. Do just let me know if you would like to. Oh no, you didn't miss it, Mark. Well, I think I did very early on. It's can you guess who by? Seawhite of Brighton. It's Seawhite of Brighton, and it's A5. I think it's 220 GSM, and it's buckling a little, but it's just a nice, fun space to just experiment and play in. So I really appreciate it. Okay, so let's look and see, is there anywhere where it is getting richer? And I think the answer to that is yes in certain places. Yeah, Seawhite. Can't you tell? He loves the Seawhite. Do you need me to do the pitch for if you want your 10% off? WW10. Is that getting old yet? I'm confident it probably is. But anyway. Okay, so just moving across here. Now, there are details of bricks in this, but there's no way I would ever be putting in that detail. So I'm happy to just drop it in. Oh, hello, Nicola Campbell-Allen. Hi there from Braga in Portugal. Now you're just bragging in a lovely place like Portugal. Oh, it's where most of us go on holiday from this part of the world. Okay, now I can't tell whether the other side of the building, I'm sure it does have. You actually need some A5 watercolor paper, so no, the 10% discount is a time router. Yes! So WW10, WW10, put it at the your promotional code to checkout and you will get 10% off. Whoop whoop. Nicola, we have amazing buildings here, but I have a fear of painting them. Och, just jump in. It's the best way to do it. Because really, you know, I remember somebody saying that the only wasted bit of paper is one that it doesn't get used. And I think just jump in. Just jump in. Don't be afraid of failing. Just jump in. Okay, so there's a yellow ochre kind of strip across here. Yeah, that'll settle down a little. So there's also a yellow ochre strip. There's actually a couple at the top. I don't want to touch them yet because they're not really that dry. There's also a strip across here. Now I'm okay if this one bleeds a little. Just touching it across there. And this one going down the top. You like the sky? Thanks very much. Keeping it simple. Hopefully if there's anything that you catch from me is my desire to not overcomplicate and to keep things nice and simple and to simplify. We're the artists, we get to decide sorry, you can hear me concentrating. You get to decide what is being kept in and what is being left out, which are all legitimate decisions for us to make. This is one of my most favouriteest in the world brushes, and it was a wee one from Sostren Green, or Sostren Grene, whatever you call them. It's probably a way to pronounce it. Makes me trying to do my Swedish chef. But it's just a lovely little brush. It was only a couple of pounds, and it's one of my most favourites. This is where we find the time, because there's 10 to 8. Where does the time go? Okay, so just want to, I'm going to use my word notice there. Just notice some lighter marks here. Now the building across, I don't have this part of the building, so we are effectively making this up, but I do know that this bit across the top is really very dark. So I'm gonna add in not load up the brush, but so it's gonna drop a nice amount of pigment to give this idea that, oh, the shadow here. Okay. So just noticing some of these little areas here. And okay, so what I will do is going to revisit. I'm loving how these are drying, how these windows are drying. Let me pull it up close for you. Can you see just, I love the, you know, whenever watercolour dries like this and how it gives that kind of nice hard edge. It's actually a little closer up than it seems further away. It's like Father Ted. Close up, far away. So I'm just going to add in just a little bit of a darker tone to some of these areas. Now, if this is dry, what I can also do is do a splat. Hopefully it'll go across the top, maybe in that direction. And that'll add to it as well. But we're nearly there. We could do a wee sneaky quick one as well. If you would like to see a little sneaky, quick, loosey-goosey one, do let me know. Or we can just leave it there. You guys have probably a night to get on with. A little bit of fluff, I think, stuck down in my brush. Nothing more annoying than when you have fluff in the brush that's deeply affecting the areas of your paint. Just on the second line, or the second layer here, just able to add a little bit more detail. Okay, and this bit is quite shadowed here. There's actually a tree there, but I decided to leave the tree out because I thought I don't really feel the need to put a tree in here. Just gonna find a couple other areas where it's a bit darker. Just doing wee touches. That's all we need. Okay, and we've got that there. Okay, so just taking a bit more of that. Anybody know what they really? I was going to say like the blue. We know the blue, like a blue or a bluey black is Payne's grey, but this seems like a blacky blue, if that makes sense, and that sounds completely crazy. But you know what I mean? It's just trying to give a little bit more detail on this side here. Okay, so let's tackle a little bit on this roof up here. Oh. Payne's grey are so different in the various brands. Yeah, well, I mean, I do have a Payne's grey in this, but this is something different, and I'm not overly sure what it actually is. The other thing I want to do is get a little shadow across the top here, so yeah, I'll do all right. Okay, so we want to do a wee flick. I'm going to darken this down ever so slightly. So moving that, just a little, totallest little fleck of colour in each of these pillars, and I want to darken this ever so. Actually, can we get a little bit in there? It's Winsor and Newton, and it's one of my favourite palettes. I just really like the paints, they're so familiar to me. Here we go. Just trying to connect some of these flicks in. Quite happy with that little splatter there. Okay, and then just to finish off, we shall add in the stumpers. And we'll just call this Belfast. So the sketchbooks, as you know, is well, maybe some of you haven't heard me say it before, but sketchbooks are a classroom to learn in, and also a journal to really remember as well. So it's really nice to have this, you know, and I'll forever remember that Anna and I were hanging out together which is really nice, you know. And you remember where you were, what you were doing. It always connects you back to those moments. So that's one thing that I absolutely love about having the sketchbook. This is the bit where you have to be patient watching me do my stampers. The sweet stampers. I love how higgledy-piggledy they are. I thought for a minute there it's spelled Belfast, Belfast wrong. Okay, and the last one. Looking for the T. Love the stamps. I know you've nicked them on me. And there you go. Now, the only last thing it needs, the last thing that it needs, and I do a little, just a little column 25 and try and hide it in there somewhere. Work away with the stampers. Stampers are like, I just think that they add so much, you know. I remember being in a market and somebody said, "You do them without the stampers, you don't really like the stampers." And I said, "No, I really don't." And that was the end of that sale, which was never a sale. Because I just love the stampers and they become nearly like a signature, but also they become a real part of the process. So you can let me know what you think of this one. Really quite pleased with it. It has a nice, I'll hold up the two together so you can see nice and closely. Now, they're not exact. That's not what I'm going for. Really pleased with the nice illustrated feel there. The wee chisel pen is really, really, really good to use. Totally recommend that. See, just reading that comment. You're all good. I think you care more about the stampers than anything else. Totally ripped them off. The greatest form of flattery. You're welcome. Sure, enjoy them. Mark, if you ever wanted to change your name, you could be C. White and Stampers. This is true. Thanks, Colorsmith. Appreciate that. Who doesn't love a stamper? Is it Eiley it's in for or Isley? I would say probably Eiley. Now, I was tempted to do a very quick, very quick doodle. Anybody want to see a doodle? I can switch off right now. So you can tell me in the live chat whether you would like to see a quick 1 to 2 minute doodle of this scene. So, anybody? This is awkward. Actually, it's probably really bad that I asked that. If there's radio silence and we come to the end of this, it's one of these moments where you go, mental note. Just end on a high, Colin. Does he do a doodle? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll have one, of course. Doodle. Theomore says doodle. Have we got any raise on Theomore's doodle? Any others? 100% Mark. Cheers, Colin. I think these guys are signing off. Oh, we've got another advance in a doodle. Give me 3 and I shall doodle. Yay! Tremendous. Now, do you know what I'll do? I will go to this one, which I don't like. I bought this one because I thought it would be, although I really like this. Toby, nice Toby sent me this. He bought me this brush pen from Japan, which is pretty cool. Nice man that he is. But I got these little pen holders for the front, and there was only a couple of quid for like 3 of them, which was brilliant. And so really fun. You can see my father-in-law there. Tried to draw him. So okay, so what we're going to do is we could do the oh, I know what we could do. We could stay away from colour and we could bring out. Can he bring it out? Let me see. Ladies and gentlemen, the magic pencil. Oh, Toby, what a guy, absolutely. Now, this, if you have got a sharpener, just want to say you haven't got a sharpener until you buy this one. I don't get anything for it. And this is where Jolene would say to me, you need to put the link, the Amazon link, or the affiliate link, or whatever the heck you call it. But this is the best sharpener in my 45 years on this earth. Well, probably, like realistically, I've probably been using sharpeners for the past 40 years. But this is the best sharpener that I have ever purchased. Love Faber-Castell. I think it was under a fiver. Now, that was 2 years ago, so probably now it's about 18 quid. You vote for more Toby and Colin podcasts? Do you mean a live or do you mean a podcast? Liz, it is a wonderful sharpener, isn't it? Gonna have a swig of coffee, talk amongst yourselves. I'm so sorry if you could hear that. Nothing worse than hearing somebody else drink their coffee. Now, I'm going to do something that I don't normally do because isn't it good the model being uncomfortable, as those of you who've been on weekends with Toby and I know. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do across the page, you know, one of those ones where you I see people do this all the time and I never know. I'm like, oh jeepers, it feels so awkward when you do it. So I'm doing continuous line. That is the one sharpener that I don't have. Lives and podcasts. I reckon Toby and I would be quite funny in it. If you haven't been, I know this is a shameless plug for the weekend, but I do think that Toby and I have quite good banter, and it's surprising for an English guy that he would have such banter, because typically us Northern Irish folks are the ones who possess the best banter, I would say. I know I'm very biased about that, but I think it's true. And Toby, for an English guy, has quite a lot of banter going for him, so got to give that to him. I'm just doing a wee quick continuous line. If you do not own a magic pencil, now I know that I am unfortunately responsible for people spending too much money on art supplies, but the magic pencil is an addition that you want in your life. I mean, I'm not going to lie, and it's just so much sheer fun. Now, the thing that I love about the continuous line, particularly with a magic pencil, is that you just feel even more permission to just have fun with it, and it's just wonderful. I was going to do you know what it is yet? But then I remembered that probably wouldn't be a good thing to remind people of. But anyway, moving swiftly on, calling no filter brain. The good thing is, because we're doing continuous line and this really is a doodle, then we can just enjoy ourselves. And also, you just want to be enjoying yourself whenever you're doing art anyway, because I think it absolutely comes across and you just get to enjoy creating. And I would say the best works that I do are when I am relaxed. So, all for the relaxing. Now, can he love whenever you do continuous line and those guilty. I'm definitely guilty of buying way more supplies than I strictly need. Yes, but you know, well, I was going to say there are worse things you could spend your money on, but also if you are addicted, you need to stop. Make sure you're feeding your family first. But I always imagine in retirement I would probably go to town, but I can't exactly say that I haven't gone to town already. But because now this has technically become a part of how I generate income for my family, it does feel like a legitimate expense to be able to try these things. You blame me, and yes, Suze, I'm still waiting on my glass dip pen, but I am very excited to get it. So, isn't it quite fun? I mean, it just is. If you don't own a magic pencil, I should can't even say it. Co-Enor Hardmouth should be giving me a deal here, because I could sell these things. They are absolutely phenomenal. They're just most wonderful fun things. And remember, actually, I did, if you haven't seen, I have a video on drawing, not in Bath, but drawing a scene from Bath in magic pencil, and somebody commented and was like, I think they're absolutely ridiculous and I want to choose my own colours and all this. I thought these are just so much fun, and I appreciate that everybody's different. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, but I couldn't connect. I was like, this pencil is one of the best things I've ever bought in my life. Let's see. Oh, I'm the same. Colorsmith, welcome to the club. Then mine's arrived, waiting for your video. What to do with it? Oh, come on. How did yours arrive? It's because you live in England, isn't it? The class Northern Ireland is like Iceland now. Liz, art supplies, living near Blix isn't always a good thing. We don't have Blix yet. I take it you're in America, Liz. Am I correct? This is where you tell me you're now offended because you're Canadian. But, or I've just offended you because you're American. But either way, what is a Blix? Is it just like a crazy, wonderful, massive art store like every other store in America, which is just a joy to... Now there's a trip that Toby and I would like to do. Tour the States doing workshops. I reckon that would be a lot of fun. Okay, we're nearly there, people. You can tell me what you think. Oh, need to do these windows down here. Forgot this bit. Oh, living in Detroit, major art chain quality. Oh, it's like Jackson's. I mean, the thing is, we don't have all these things. If any of you are joining us in, well, I don't think Toby's actually opened the booking yet, but we're doing a workshop in Belfast in October, and we don't have anywhere near that kind of stuff, but we do have Bradbury Graphics, which is absolutely phenomenal for what I am used to, and it's just wonderful. Put a wee column there, shall I? Do you know what else we could do? Let's put the stampers on this as well. Seeing that you all seem to love the stampers. Now I think it's alright, isn't it? It's a lot of fun. Just what, you know, if you're feeling like, oh, I can't paint, it's going to be a mess, grab yourself a magic pencil and just doodle and get yourself just having a bit of fun with it. This is where he hunts yet again for the ones that Jackson's is your go-to. Looks like fun. The stampers! Where is it again? We're going for Belfast. I'm really not going to lie, because I don't love this sketchbook, I'm just trying to use it up. Because it's annoying me how the paper and also the size of it. And I think there was someone in the last course and I was talking to them about the actual size of the paper that you're working on and quality of paper and all those things. I think actually is quite important. You need to really like it, which is why I bang on and on about Seaweed of Brighton, because I love them. And yes, you could, I mean, I think they're quality, but obviously you can pay a lot more money if you were using Arches or something like that. But I just think they're just so expensive. Maybe they would be absolutely beautiful to use, maybe not, I don't know. Right, shall we compare and contrast these two? You can all tell me your thoughts. Bonnie's quiet right down, hasn't she? Look, wee Bonnie, you asleep there, pet? Nothing like having a dog out in your studio. Okay, that is now that one finished. Put the lid on the little stamper pad to keep it working. So, oh yes, so I'll not tell you where I got these from because you'll all know. But these little sponges are absolutely epic. They are just amazing for cleaning the palette and just for dappling and things. So really, really glad. These were really cheap and really, really glad that I got them. They've been a real addition. When I got them, I thought, am I ever going to use them? This is another thing that I got as well for, this is like 50p. But it has a wee lid, you can put your water in it and clip it to your board. How cool is that? Okay, so that's Belfast. I actually think, I don't know, you can tell me which one you prefer. So this is tonight's work and we shall pop the picture there. The camera now, this is where I could cost you a fortune. I genuinely am not sponsored by any of these people, but this little camera has been phenomenal. And what I now do is I print off, so going to be working on these two probably at some point. And this is my little stash with which I keep together in a bulldog clip, just of different scenes that I've done. You might recognize some of them from videos if you watch me. And it's just really, like I did a still life from that one. So it's just really, really cool. Just really, really cool to have. Really glad I bought that actually. So let me lift the camera off. Just put my thing there. So we have some comments. The that's fun, multicolored contour drawing. Mark, Belfast never looked so psychedelic. Then I agree. I did a sketch I was proud of on some paper the other day, ruined it with a watercolor. It just disintegrated. How annoying is that? But also, so that it doesn't become a real sense of failure thing, being able to go mental note, I just know not to do that again. Colorsmith, I prefer the WC one, but the other one was more fun. Mark, I'm a sucker for continuous line, I must admit. This was actually continuous line too, I have to tell you. Where does it print the pictures as well? It absolutely does. That's why I was showing it. Oh my goodness. Sorry, Thea. Sorry, that was me being banter. It does, absolutely. Actually, none of you are ever going to want to be on again. Colin's mean to people. I'm sorry, Thea. Thea, continuous line is so much fun. I like to do one before I then go in and do my usual sketch style now, especially now I'm without my pencil. Yeah, so I just find that it just really, really loosens things up, and it's really, really enjoyable to do. And I think it was in this one, Bounce Warning. I know. Gotta be careful. It's in this one because this was my little sketchbook that I took with me to when we were in England there. When we were in Bath. Yes, and this is the one. I was so pleased with this. It was Alistair who was on the course, and it was just a really little, quick sketch. And it just sometimes happens where you go, my goodness, there he is. And there's no detail on his face, but just, just that was him. I can just see him still there. So, it's just great to have a little sketchbook. Okay, peeps. Thanks for joining me this evening. Hope it was fun. Thank you for all of your banter. You can tell I just so enjoy all of that, and so glad that I came on and did a little impromptu live. Thanks for all your likes, subscribes, everything else. I have my first member as well. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Thank you for that. And have a good week and Sunday night. All right, peeps. Bye.